All through mankind's set of experiences, we've assembled an mind-blowing collection of information about the universe around us. Anyway, we're just toward the start of this excursion. The universe is a strange place of insider facts, unexplained secrets, and dark openings, molded by concealed powers. In this video, we will uncover some of them. What lies past the universe? Does Planet 9 truly exist? Is there life on Jupiter's moon? What did explorers 1 and 2 recognize past our nearby planet group? It is by and large thought to be simply the universe has no limits, no start, no end. Music? Maybe after today you'll know more. Consider our universe inseparable from endlessness. After all, what has a starting sooner or later will find its sin. The limitless idea of the universe recommends that it should be limitless, not just with regards to space, yet in addition with regards to time. And that implies it would contain a boundless number of stars. Assuming that were the case, our sky would be thickly populated with stars and amazingly splendid consistently of the day. Anyway, the obscurity of the night sky recommends that the timetable of the it isn't limitless to exist universe. Thus, as indicated by this hypothesis, the universe was made because of a strong blast from a place of thickly pressed matter and energy, moreover known as peculiarity. Mark a piece of paper with a little speck. Then attempt to pulverize the paper to the size of that dab presently envisioned before this large bang. Our universe was contained in a space more modest than the spot you recently drew. How much strain inside it was unquestionably high, and it feels regular. That at last this presence would bring about development. Similarly, as the paper in your grasp is attempting to take its past structure, the universe extended, but on an altogether different scale, and everything in the universe, past, present, and future, is the outcome of that occasion. All that we see and feel, the matter that we're made out of, everything shaped because of that interaction. So how is all that we see around us brought into the world from such a horrendous cycle? Music? Toward the starting a millionth of a second. Right away spread the very high temperature substance, the plasma. From that arose the components that make up our present reality, like protons, neutrons, electrons. This cycle is known as entombment beginning, or then again interment union. It prompted conditions that made it feasible for hydrogen and helium to shape, which thusly framed the stars. The life pattern of a star will shape all that our reality is made of. First, we should discuss how we had the option to have a look as far as possible back to the beginning of the universe. Then we can examine the reason why it is so hard to track down its edge. To make a trip to the past, you'll just need a television. Furthermore, now that it's before you, observe without a sign. All we see on the screen are impedance and repetitive sound. Be that as it may, the present moment you're watching a cycle that is an immediate result of the large bang. Look nearer. This is artifact radiation of the universe, otherwise called infinite microwave foundation, or CMB. During the 70s, the course of room investigation brought about the disclosure of various zones we were unable to see. Appropriately, a portion of the pictures looked as though there was a focal point flare. Abnormal thing was that all the enormous wellsprings of light known at the time, such as the perishing or arising stars, were as well a long way from these flares. They could never have been the justification behind this peculiarity. This is the manner by which the researchers found out about Artifact radiation and how things are playing out. On the screen is the impact of this radiation, this repetitive sound, the genuine reverberation and voice of the early universe. At the point when researchers set off to explore this peculiarity, it became evident that the radiation happened at the exact second. At the point when the universe was first illuminated by the development of compound components. We discovered that this radiation isn't connected with the stars or different wellsprings of light on account of the map test. On account of map, we had the option to get the main far-reaching guide of artifact radiation in the universe. More detail was added to the guide thanks to crafted by the Flank Space Observatory. Investigated, doesn't it seem to be the past television picture yet in Variety? This reverberation of the huge explosion is scattered across the universe unbelievably. Even this is the illumination of the introduction of our universe that has existed since the large bang. Furthermore, because of this light, we're currently capable to see the genuine construction of the universe and understand the universe is limited. The things we can see or work out utilizing a PC model was called the discernible universe, and the things that we can investigate inside it are known as the metacosmic system. So where are we inside this framework? We should see. There's our home planet Earth and the nearby planet group. The nearby planet group is a piece of the neighborhood heavenly framework alongside the adjoining stars and their frameworks. We are essential for the smoothway world. The actual world is important for a bigger gathering of cosmic systems. As we zoom out significantly further, we can see our place among different universes in the Laniakea supercluster. Appears to be tremendous, doesn't it? The last reference for scale will be the noticeable universe in the excellent plan of things. We are just a minuscule grain of sand, yet even a substance of the size has its cutoff points. We're confronting the central inquiry. All that we see is simply the degree of the universe. How might we see past the light produced by stars? Investigate the guide of the infinite microwave foundation. The more splendid spot flagged the progressions in temperature in space, which implies where the star framework systems and super-universes can be tracked down beyond our visual reach. Is it conceivable to utilize artifact radiation to see the whole universe? Contemplate the night sky on the off chance that you're on a brilliantly lit road or close to another wellspring of light, for example, a pit fire. It's challenging to make out the distant stars overhead. Same guideline applies here. Artifact radiation enlightens the universe and all its greatness. Anyway, its light too conceals the dull rear entryways of the universe. For instance, the regions absent any trace of stars. It likewise conceals dark openings in places in our universe that poor person yet been arrived at by light. Recollect, the outcomes of the huge explosion are still significant. There anything past this edge it is as well. Appears to be that the solution to this inquiry was tracked down through the expansion hypothesis. As indicated by this hypothesis, the limits of our universe keep on growing at a fast outstanding speed, which prompts a end that the universe can't have a substantial limit. We should return again to that piece of paper. You disintegrated toward the beginning. Has it started to disentangle yet? Clearly sometime it will return to being a similar size as the sheet you got at first. The most rudimentary physical science directs that the expansion hypothesis has its issues. Since the laws of physical science work in the Same way in all aspects of our universe. Despite the fact that researchers viewed as incalculable things that affirmed the fast development of the universe after the enormous bang, as well as a lot of realities that recommend proceeding with development that is far from being the 10,000-foot view. For instance, perception showed that worlds and stars have an ever speeding up as they move separated from one another. Apparently, this would affirm the expansion hypothesis of the universe. By the by, questions remain. What was going on when the universe did not yet exist? Assuming the universe rose up out of peculiarity, does that intend that there was a period before this peculiarity existed? In the event that similar laws of material science apply in various pieces of the universe, why is the universe so huge? Where did the energy important to make it come from? Questions were generally present, and the more researchers found out about the design, also history of our reality, the more questions stayed unanswered. The huge bang hypothesis, and in this manner, the expansion hypothesis couldn't reply these inquiries. Luckily, there was an alternate hypothesis that was as of late proposed, which might be ready to clear up for us the things we see in the universe now, as well as things that occurred previously and things that will probably occur from here on out. The hypothesis of the cyclic universe, otherwise called the swaying model of the universe, the establishment for this perspective on the universe as though it were a living creature with its own patterns of presence, was laid toward the start of the 20th century. The Friedman-Robertson Walker model recommended that since the universe has been extending since the huge explosion, it is just coherent that at some point it packs once more into a peculiarity. As per this hypothesis, the universe as we realize it exists between times of development and withdrawal anyway soon. Their hypothesis was uncovered to have a serious inconsistency in light of the fact that the idea of entropy had been found during the 1930s, which is the course of interminable dispersal of energy through space and its rot. Entropy would imply that each pattern of the universe would require to an ever-increasing extent energy. Friedman and his partners proved unable offer a response regarding where this energy comes from at first. Contemplate your piece of paper. After all, without the power from your hands, nothing might have happened to it. For just about 80 years this model was set aside as a misleading hypothesis, yet at the start of the 21st century it was brought back from the dusty rack to Princeton researcher Paul Steinhard. What's more, Neil Turk have concocted a totally new form of it. Their model is fundamentally founded on string hypothesis. It is established in the possibility that everything material in the universe comprises of minuscule particles which by and large make